All right, so next up, let's talk Gonzaga versus Kansas. Matchup of kind of blue blood NCAA tournament teams. You've got the major in Kansas against the mid-major in Gonzaga. I know people don't want to say Gonzaga's a mid-major. Apparently, that was on my last video all over the comment section. Apparently, you know, I'm on like a Gonzaga hate thread or something. Even though I picked Gonzaga to win the game against McNeese State, I got called out a lot for calling them mid-major. Just hear me out. If you look up mid-major, the best mid-major, Gonzaga is going to pop up. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being a good mid-major. They are a mid-major, but also they are a very good basketball team. So if they're not a mid-major, first off, why were they trying to get into the Big 12 as soon as like last year, as recent as last year? Just saying. All right, so let's get into the game now. All right, Gonzaga versus Kansas. All right, Gonzaga is sitting at 26-7, Kansas 23-10. Gonzaga, really impressive win against McNeese State. Absolutely dominated them. Kansas, they're without Kevin McCullough. All right, they got Hunter Dickinson back last game. Kind of was dominating Samford and then let them creep in at the very end, but ultimately get the win. Gonzaga, let's talk about them first. Look at their schedule a little bit here. Kind of a weird year for Gonzaga. All right, kind of up and down. Some questionable losses in conference play and out of it, but also some really good losses. So starting off, you got a win over Yale. All right, tournament team. Lost to Purdue. That's not a bad loss. Now, Washington, that one's a little questionable, as well as the Santa Clara one. Those aren't very good losses to me. But you have losses to UConn, San Diego State. Those are not bad losses by any means. Both of those in the championship last year. Then ultimately you lost to St. Mary's, which we know how good St. Mary's is. And also you beat Kentucky. All right, the same team that got upset by Oakland yesterday. And Gonzaga looked really good yesterday. In particular, all right, led by their main guys, you know, Watson. And I've been impressed with Nembhard from Creighton, their point guard. I think he's really good. As for Kansas, all right, we saw they kind of struggled down the stretch in Big 12 play when they were without McCullough, somewhat without Dickinson. Now, they've got Dickinson back. It's going to be an adjustment without McCullough. What it's really going to come down to, I think, without McCullough is Timberlake. Okay, that's who you need to get hot from three. If he can get hot from three, they can beat anybody almost, because that adds a completely another element that they haven't had all year. They brought him in as a transfer because he was lights out from three-point range, and just as of late, he's not being able to hit. If he can somehow get hot in this tournament, I think they could make a run here, but that's a little questionable. He hasn't been able to do it yet, and he's kind of that missing piece they need to get hot to make up for McCullough's absence. You've still got Harris, you got Adams, you got Dickinson down low, so I think you're going to be okay. But like I said, you need some help from Timberlake to kind of set you apart. I think this game will be close, even though Kansas kind of struggled last game against Samford. I still think they'll be fine to play with Gonzaga. As far as matchup predictor, looks like ESPN, Gonzaga's being picked 59% of the time. As far as the spread is concerned, Gonzaga is favored by, 3.5 here. So really good matchup, I think. I know Kansas is without McCullough, but I still think, like I said, this game will be close. But Kansas just does not look the same without McCullough, even with Dickinson. Dickinson just hasn't fit in all year for me with Kansas like I thought he would. Whenever it was announced he was going there, I thought that'd be a really nice addition for Kansas, but it just hasn't played out like that and hasn't really worked like I thought it would. Now, Kansas still has some pieces from that championship team a couple years back. You know, Harris still there, Adams is still there, and I think they can beat Gonzaga, but again, it's going to depend on if Timberlake can get lights out or not. If not, Gonzaga's going to win this ball game, I think. So give me Gonzaga here, but I think it's going to be close. Give me Gonzaga by less than 5. It's going to be a close game for sure. I think Gonzaga gets the win in the end, though. Who do you think wins this game? Let me know down in the comment section and why. Like this video and subscribe.